All right, everyone, welcome back dito sa latest episode ng Deep Dive. No matter where you're joining us from, subtropical, Northern Luzon, Southern Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, lahat ng ating mga minamahal na mga followers and mga kababayan and new subscribers. Nag-jump yung subscription natin significantly over the past week. I wonder why. I wonder why. Pero ngayon kasama natin, ito nagiging ano natin regular ano natin, accomplice na natin. Almost Ronald Diamas level. Kasama po natin the greatest ever, Attorney Dino De Leon, our great friend. Welcome back, Dino. Welcome back.
Hello, Richard. Good evening. Pleasure to be here again and to be back. Ano ba pag-uusapan natin ngayon? Marami ba tayong mga
Parang,
nag-iinit na balita?
parang medyo respectable ang ano, kapsara pa nga kasta, damat nga formal look. Shakmat
Nasa office pa
Park
ako
Boy.
kasi inantay kita. Hindi pa ako umuwi. Alam mo naman, meron tayong bills to pay. We have to be in the office.
Brother, basta ano, para sa bayan, as they say. Okay, okay. Alam ko you have limited time, so let's make the most out of this in the next 15 minutes or so. Kapatid, unang-una, before I go to our favorite topic, no, actually, let's start with, before we go to the topic of the day, which is, should Menardo Guevara resign? And more importantly, should his case be looked into as an enabler of Duterte's, essentially, alam natin, connect the dots. I want to ask, first of all, kasi, katulad ng sinabi ni Senator, what's his name? Senator Robin Hood Padilla, right? Sabi niya, by insistent public demand, let me ask you, unang-una, oh, well, hindi pwede si Robin Hood Padilla na lang nag-abogado for Digong kasi I think he could have delivered it better than Medial Dia who ayan na labasan na yung mga wheelchair at saka mga neck brace na ngayon eh. If appeal to emotion lang yung strategy nila, wouldn't Robin Hood Padilla be more effective, Attorney Dino De Leon?
Well, unfortunately, I'm not sure no, kung magsusuklay-suklay ka ng bigote mo doon, eh, magiging effective yun, di ba? But ang problema kasi is, the ICC is an actual court. Meaning to say, hindi pwedeng insistent public demand lang sila. No? In other words, ang kailangan mo doon convincing arguments,
Right.
qualifications, and actual things na substantive. Hindi pwedeng pa-cute, hindi pwedeng papogi, hindi pwedeng public demand, hindi survey firm kasi yung ano eh. Hindi survey firm yung ICC, di ba? Korte iyon.
Troll farm, hindi lang.
It's all farm eh. So kahit anong alam mo yun, communicate nila doon as if asking for public opinion. Nito court of public opinion eh. Actually, korte ito. No? So I would suggest again na hindi dapat nila dinidelegitimize yung institution. They
Right.
should talk to the justices based on substantive, based on evidence, based on international law. Hindi yung palalabasin nila kidnapping pero may warrant of arrest. Kasi talagang ang itsura talaga nung mga maestrado doon, ha? Who you? 'Di ba? May warrant of arrest, paano mo sasabihin kidnapping, no? So parang okay, denied. Yun lang sinabi, denied. Bakit? May piring yung ano may piring yung Lady Justice, 'di ba? Eh
Sure.
hindi po kung sino-sino ka diyan, executive secretary ka dati, makapangyarihan ka, akala mo effective na 'yon.
But I think unfortunately the judges and ICC are realizing what people like me have been dealing with for the past 10 years. No, grabe tinitroll sila. Picture with her mom, with her family, binabastos, binababoy. Grabe talaga itong mga.
Ano
Although
ibig sabihin nun, Richard? I think, alam mo medyo mag-iingat din yung mga supporters. Kasi apart from the fact that it can be counterproductive, it actually strengthens the ICC's jurisdiction because they would show the kind of vitriol that local judges will have to undergo and the dangers that they will be facing if indeed the trial will be held here. So as opposed to strengthening their arguments, right? It may unduly weaken their arguments and will convince the ICC na mukhang malabo kung local trial ito, the kind of harassment that
yeah,
the local judges will have to face.
medyo now ang dating now actually it makes sense. Now, balikan natin ito by insistent public demand. Mukhang may mga hunger strike na mangyayari dito. Attorney Dino De Leon, bring Harry home. Ito po yung public clamor nowadays. Would Harry Roque applying for asylum make sense at all? And then, and this is what came up in my discussion with Justice Carpio Capon. Would Harry Roque's own statements against Duterte before he did the Harry Roque and jumped ship be used in the court against his own client? In short, hindi ba pahamak si Harry? Or is Harry using Digong for his own asylum application. I mean, this is so crazy. People in the streets are asking me, yung mga, sir, sir, bakit si Harry yung magpaprotect sa kay Tatay Digong? Hindi namin naintindihan. Okay, can you explain the Harry angle here?
Ang hirap lang no na ay number one yung kanyang application. Well, let's see if he will be able to convince the government of the Netherlands that he's actually a political prisoner. He is being persecuted because it is a legitimate investigation which he did not appear. No, so malayo yan. Lalo na yung accusations against him are crimes against humanity. No, parang hindi ako sure kung yung Netherlands will be ready to be seen as instead of a human rights haven cradling
Pugante.
criminal. Oh. So ang hirap na isipin yan. Having said that, no, hindi lang actually yung statements ni Harry Roque against Rodrigo Duterte na I think, di ba, mga serial killer, ganyan
Sabi
yung
niya,
mga
di
terms
ba?
niya eh.
He himself said on the record in Congress, di ba? Na ito,
Oo.
Duterte, wag niyong putuin yan. Ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. I mean,
Serial killer yata or something like that ang sinabi niya. Pero hindi
on
lang yun
the
ha.
record. Oh my God, this
si
is
si
crazy.
Harry Roque ang nag-made public pronouncement and statements na finally the despots will be afraid because the
Oh my God.
ICC is here and we have signed. Meron siya mga public
Oh, yung
statements na ganyan.
nag-join tayo. Oh my God.
Correct. And sabi niya, this is a safeguard mechanism against, tyrants and despots. That came from his own words before, as they say, before he turned coated. And per the UP Executive Committee, University of Philippines Executive Committee, before he had a very bad track record of promoting human rights. And I'm quoting ha, hindi nanggaling sa akin yan kasi nanggaling yan sa sarili niyang universidad kung saan siya nagturo, saan siya nag-aral, 'di ba? Hindi naman ako yung sumusuka sa kanya kung hindi sarili niyang
Oo.
university.
Team Suka. Speaking of Team Suka. Oo nga para marami mga alam na dinidefense si Digong na sinuka ng sarili nilang mga departments or mga ganon. By the way, shout out, may mga dumagdag na nagpersona non grata sa atin, pero whatever. Parang, medyo may competition na ngayon magpersona non grata ng mga critics ng, or actually mga people who are asking for justice and all. Now, I want to ask a little bit more about Bring Home Harry public demand. So mukhang malabo yung asylum niya. Especially because there's no standing criminal case against him, right? I mean,
Correct. It's
like
a
how,
congressional warrant of arrest, no? And this is just to make him answer
yeah.
questions being legitimately asked of him, no? Pero alam mo, sometimes kasi, di ba, napaka-liberal democratic countries kasi nasa Europe, baka naman siya makachamba, no? But in essence, hindi siya makabalik-balik sa Pilipinas. Ang sinasabi niya noon, di ba, noon pa. Di ba, harapin ninyo yung mga kaso. Ito naman, dati sinabi niya kay Laila de Lima, hopefully you forever rot in jail or something like that. 'Di ba? Hindi naman siya sasabihan ni Laila de Lima ng ganun. Pero at the very least, sino kaya yung totoong matapang kung si Laila de Lima hinarap niya lahat, 'di ba? These are fake fabricated charges. It's not even a congressional warrant lang. Ilan lang naman yung congressional warrant, ilang araw ka lang naman diyan. Pag sinagot mo na naman yung tanong, okay na, manilift na yung contempt of court, unlike yung arbitrary length of time that has passed when Laila de Lima was incarcerated. So, alam mo, nakakatawa lang no na parang ang tapang-tapang niya noon, naninigaw pa siya ng mga doktor, naalala mo nung COVID, 'di ba? Pero ngayon ayaw naman harapin sa yung mga proseso at mga institusyon ng bansa.
Well, going through the galley of rogues and again, insistent public demand to quote Robin Padilla. The other, nakikita ko nag-hunger strike na bring Bato to the Hague. Ano to exchange program? Like, Kimasari will give you Bato. What is Bato's? Is the Senate even in a position? Could that create a constitutional crisis if the Senate blocks arrest of Bato by executive authorities? Can the Supreme Court interfere? I mean, what are the parameters regarding that issue if magtago siya or bibigyan siya ng sanctuary ni microblade ni Senate President.
Well, dapat siguro pag-isipan mo mabuti, no? Jesus Escudero is not the Senate. Is this really the real sense of the Senate? That's number one. Number two, it's such a big disappointment, no? Alam mo, tung si Senate President Jesus Escudero. I once actually even volunteered for his campaign when I was yung Youth for Cheese, no? Yung simple concept na fourth wheel, hindi niya makuha. Ngayon, gagawin niya sanctuary ng wanted for crimes against humanity, yung Senado. kind of credibility will the Senate build if it is a haven for international fugitives who are wanted for the most atrocious, heinous, horrendous crimes such as mass murder in an organized manner, in a widespread manner? Hindi ba dapat hayaan na lang si Senator Bato de la Rosa na harapin yung mga bagay-bagay na ito kaysa ikukompromiso ni Senate President Cheese Escudero yung institusyon ng Senado? The Senate cannot be seen as a coddler of an international fugitive. Yung institutional integrity, I think, is being compromised if that's gonna be the case.
Wait. What institutional? But before getting to more hot water, baka mamaya ma-persona ng grata din tayo sa Senado. Well, we have an interesting case here, right? Because Amy Marcos is calling for basically a session, right? I mean, not only hearing, parang I think she's trying to push for. I mean, could we go towards a situation whereby suddenly magsa-session ng Senate because of the Bato sanctuary issue? But that also means they have to forthwith na the Sara impeachment, right? It's kind of catch-22 for them, right? Like, unless, baka sasabihin na naman ni ni Mr. Let's see what the Supreme Court will define yung mga ganyan. Like, I mean, you get what I'm saying, right? Like, if they session this, automatically the forthwith should apply. If they don't session this, maging questionable yung decision to give sanctuary to Bato, and there could be quite a showdown that no one wants to see. And I really don't understand. I thought Bato is a loyal soldier of Tatay Digong. Di ba sabi niya dati, kay Zubiri, di ba, I'll fight to the end of the world. And these are like talagang interesting characters, no?
Well, actually, assuming na tama yung legal reasoning ni Senate President Cheese Escudero na hindi sila pwedeng mag-convene because the Senate is on break, kaya hindi pwedeng ma-forthwith. Yun nga, tama yung logic mo na, ayan na, mag-aano na kayo, magko-convene na kayo, di ba? Pero to begin with, right from the very start, legal scholars are clear, no, yung functions nila as legislative is different from their special functions in the impeachment. In other words, hindi yan naapektuhan kahit na on recess sila, kaya nga siya forthwith. Kaya nga iba yung separate oath of office ang gagawin nila, kaya nga mag-wear sila ng judicial robe kasi ibang-iba talaga yung function and separate yun from the legislative calendar. Pero sige, ibigay na lang natin, even if argument nga to, ibigay na lang natin kay Senate President yung argumento na yon. O sige, mag-convene ka para maprotektahan mo si Bato, kasi pwede lang naman protektahan si Bato if Senate is in session, right? And then, follow your own illogical argument, di kailangan mo nang i-forthwith yung impeachment.
No, okay. May mga nagmamagaling na naman dito, yung mga overnight experts. Sabi nila, committee hearing lang hiningi ni Amy Marcos. But if ever people bother to listen to my discussion with Justice Carpio kahapon, eventually you might want to need to go towards a quorum and kind of a session because this has to be a big institutional decision, right? So mukhang hindi updated yung mga ibang mga galing natin na kaibigan. Ang dami mga nagtatroll
Hindi lang, committee hearing, kahit na committee hearing lang yan. Kaya mo pala mag-convene ng committee hearing, ba't di ka mag-convene ng impeachment court? Diba? At parang wag naman, diba? Ano, committee hearing pag on your purpose, kaya mag-convene, pero pag for the purpose of holding you accountable, hindi kaya mag-convene. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Damat nga, Neng. I mean, sorry. Amom ti Neng.
When amok me, nasa utak, makaawat tak.
Kasto yung argument nga, Neng nga argument. Anyway, okay, going back, baka sasabihin na naman, Southern Europe na naman tayo. No, but, no. Last part, this is the important part. Okay, the curious case of Menardo Guevara, which is really getting weird. There are many weird theories. One theory, and I'm not saying this is my theory, but some people are saying, baka to begin with, he was a false mole operation, meaning they kept him there, making the Dutertes think they got their guy in, thinking they're in the loop, and in the end, apparently, no one was in the loop, right? That's like one wild theory. Na this was really a kind of a keep your enemies closer strategy. The other one is like, hindi, pinabayaan lang ng tao na to, at itong tao na to, mukhang iba yung ginagawa niya on his own, right? He's like, wait, iba na yung administration, iba, parang he's still making the same argument, and in fact, some people would blame him for the delay. in the arrest warrants because he pushed for, di ba, humingi pa siya ng, kumbaga, allowance na naman from ICC on the jurisdiction issue. Sabi niya, bigyan mo kami under the principle of complementarity sometimes. So, some would say he's actually not only defying the government's stance, he's not only countermanding the executive branch, he's the Solicitor General, he's the lawyer of the government, right? He is also, in many ways, an enabler of the former administration and someone who's now in the ICC. That would be the argument of some people. What do you think about that, attorney?
Well, ako lang, di ba? You had one job. And what is your statutory job? The job is to defend the stand of the government. Well, you had one job, di ba? Yung sinasabi, di ba? And in fact, assuming na if we will believe his logic na sinabi niya yung ICC jurisdiction wala na. Ang dinidefend naman dito yung arrest and not based on ICC jurisdiction but based on under our obligations under the Interpol, yung right ng government to surrender an internationally wanted fugitive under our domestic law, no? So napakalinaw yan, di ba? Nung sinasabi nga natin sa Section 17, Section 17 ng RA 9851 or an act defining and penalizing crimes against international humanitarian law, no? Primary author niyan is si Erin Tanyada, di ba? Isa sa mga primary author nitong act na to, Republic Act 9851. Napakalinaw doon, Section 17, that the government can surrender. So, hindi niya kailangan i-touch yung issue ng ICC jurisdiction, but the prerogative of the executive to actually surrender somebody who is considered as an international fugitive, and then at the same time yung ating obligation sa Interpol. Kung ayaw niya talagang sundin yung sa ICC jurisdiction, pero kahit naman yung sa ICC jurisdiction, a little bit dishonest because this has already been resolved by the Supreme Court in a 15-0 decision in Pangilinan versus Cayetano.
Last point, I know, Kapsat, you have to go soon. This is a much more fundamental question. No? So obviously, this is an indictment on our justice system, no? In many ways. Again, I don't want to create debate among people, but Justice Carpio's argument kagabi was the rot started at the core of the executive because yung hindi sinimulan kasi diba, before these cases really move forward, the DOJ has to do its part, the police, NBI, and that it would be unfair to primarily blame the judiciary, literally, for the failure of the justice system because the justice system is much more comprehensive and encompassing than that. I found, actually, you have to clarify that this is not trabaho lang ng judiciary because we can talk about underinvestment in judiciary, one judge to 744 cases. I know all the statistics, but tama, diba? Nakulang talaga ng executive. And the case of Menardo Guevara says that actually those problems persisted even into the current administration, strangely. We still don't know the full story. Yeah.
The justice system is not just composed of the judiciary, it's just a fundamental component of it. In order for you to apprehend a criminal, you have the police system, you need to have investigators, you need to have the case build up, you need to have proper prosecution under the Department of Justice, no? Pero lahat yun hindi nangyari. Bakit? Si Menardo Guevara and si Aguirre are the justice secretaries during that time. And the same Menardo Guevara, who was not just only appointed by President Duterte, but who was also the longest law partner, I think, of Executive Secretary Mejaldea. No, they come from the same law office. No, from April 2018 to June 2022, he was SOJ. Not a single case was filed against President Rodrigo Duterte. No, this is the same Menardo Guevara who has a pending case with the Ombudsman for using convicted criminals as witnesses in the case of Laila de Lima, which violates fundamental laws of the land, including the witness protection program. So in other words, kung ginawa nga ni Guevara yung trabaho niya, wala sana tayo sa ICC ngayon. Kung ginawa niya yung trabaho niya na mag-imbestiga at mag-file ng cases sa mga kapulisan, including all the way up there, right? Wala sana tayo sa ICC ngayon. Kaso, iilan lang yung mga inaimbestigahan. Iilan lang ba yung convictions? 2 or 3? I think 3 na as of the moment. Pero these are yung very clear things. Pero yung other clear crimes na nangyari on broad daylight, diba, with a lot of witnesses, wala. Nada. Walang clear investigation, even initiated by Menardo Guevara. Even when he was in the OSG, kasi nag-cooperate yung OSG tsaka DOJ in terms of the investigations afterwards, wala namang masyadong mga nakakasuhan at hindi nila kinasuhan si Rodrigo Duterte. Menardo Guevara is also a fundamental part of our justice system. Under his leadership, prosecution of these crimes did not happen.
Or injustice system. Very last point, Kapsat. Syempre tayong dalawa, debater ties. We love this. We love, all of this argument and all. At nakita naman nila, makapal ang mukha natin. We did like 1 million views because of doing live. I mean, as we speak, ang daming trolls na pumapasok and I'm just, so if I'm smiling, it's not, our topic is serious. It's because I'm just telling these trolls, thank you for the engagement. Let's go. Is that a problem na unfortunately maraming masyadong duwag? I mean, honestly, I don't want to name names. There were people I was supposed to meet na biglang, Oy, Richard, pwede hindi mo na tayo on the record now or something like that. Oh, wait, because you're scared you'll be bashed? Like, shame on you people. You're a bunch of
Well,
cowards. Not only you failed to do your job during the 6 years of Duterte, even now that Duterte is already in ICC, konting bashing lang, takot na kayo. Kasi problema ko yan, ha? I'm having a serious problem with this because I don't know if it's the Gabriela Silang in us, Ilocanos. I don't know if it's the Burgos or the Simpson in you in that case, or the Friars Forondas in me. I don't know what it is, Kapsat. But I just felt I cannot sleep with a clean conscience kung tingin ko natakot lang ako, naduwag lang ako dahil may mga bashers lang and all of that. Honestly, I
lagi
would.
ko sinasabi, di ba?
Yun nga
Dapat
eh.
hindi
Ang daming duwag.
natatakot.
Ang daming duwag. I'm sick and tired of that. Guys, the reason why nandito tayo where we are today is because we allowed a bunch of clowns and rogues to get away over and over and over and over again. Well, eventually one of them caught up with him. But my problem is that we still are not done here. Diba? Duterte for all this decade, at least at the national level, they have been appealing to our basest instincts, grooming those basest instincts, deploying that against all the critics, and then ang daming duwag, ang daming mga kung ano-anong sinasabi or daming excuse, etc. Actually, at least I'm glad na now Din Pangalangan is out and saying it very clearly. He talked about the multiple precedents na ganito talaga mga pugante talaga. This is how it happens to them. So I want to see more people of authority like Raul Pangalangan coming out just like Justice Carpio throughout the years. I want more people, more journalists, more other folks to not be scared of bashers. What are you talking about? Brother, I got 300 death threats since last week. I was just counting. I got tired of sending it. So I go, I need beauty sleep. Okay. Kasi baka mawala yung Southern European natin. No, but joking aside, parang, so what? We're just gonna be quiet and allow them to get away. They have been getting away with this for far too long. For heaven's sake, nyamet na gito ikapsa pahinga kastoy ti kultura natin pahinga nagadumet nga ikaw. I'm telling that to you because I respect you, brother. You have the courage and you have the patriotism to
Well,
be
it
in
has been difficult. It has been difficult, definitely. Pero lagi ang contemplation ko when I filed the case against President Duterte himself during the peak of the
the
COVID is,
pandemic when he could
yeah,
just
pandemic.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, peak of his power. Kahit sa labas ng bahay mo, pwede kang kuhugutin, sabihin, violator ko ng kung ano-ano man, di ba? When I
Yeah.
asked for his health records, di ba? Hirap kumuha ng mga volunteers kasi marami nagtakot. Pero kahit naman ako nagtakot eh. Pero courage, as I always say, is not the absence of fear, but having the will to face it. Hindi naman tayo, alam mo yun, sabi ko, matagal na akong takot. Pero at that particular moment, I just know that during my prayer na I don't want Duterte to take everything away from me, including my free will. Na hindi ako, nakukilos ako dahil sa takot. Ayoko nun. So that's always the philosophy henceforth. No? Yun siguro yung learning ko doon. Kasi we become, di ba, in our journey, we become a little bit better people in our journey once we make the most difficult decisions. No?
This
Yeah.
is the heroic journey. Yeah, I mean, all of us is going through that. Thank you so much, brother, for your continued dedication to this. Sana dadami yung mga katulad mo. I want people to come out and not play this game. Oh, hindi ko specialization itong subfield of internet. No, takot ka lang magsalita. Or there's another problematic school of thought, no, na who are still being overly procedural about this and enabling actually the argument of the Team Kadiliman. Actually, at this rate, parang masasabi ko, kadiliman ng kasamaan, medyo isang grupo pala yan at the end of the day. Kasi yung isa, kumbaga, purgatory level, yung isa level 7 na eh, ng Dante's, Dante Alighieri's, Inferno. And I'll say that openly to some of our friends na sobrang obsessed sa Never Marcos camp. They're not seeing what's going on.
Hmm. Anyway, I have to go because of another interview.
I've just said beautiful, beautiful. I completely agree with you. Thank you very much, Kapsat. Maraming salamat. And talk to you soon. Maraming salamat. Talk
Talk
to you soon.
soon. Bye-bye.
I'll text you mamaya. Salamat.